3, 2, 1.
Wow.
Oh my God, that's cold.
How do you do that?
Welcome back to You Betcha Radio Podcasts, the coldest podcast in all the Midwest. I am Miles, You Betcha guy, here with Ryan, the T-shirt guy. We have a great fall episode for you coming up, so let's just get into the show.
I would venture to say it's almost the nectar of the gods. Back, baby, back. I want my push. Oh my God, that's cold.
Oh, you betcha, yeah.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to episode 34 of the You Betcha Radio podcast. Today, we have a good fall podcast on the books for you. Miles, he's going to talk a little bit about how you decorate for fall, what you do to celebrate fall, football, all that good jazz. But before we get into the bit, we have to tell you, the new merch is now live.
Brand new merchandise. This was kind of a wild launch. We've never launched this many products in one launch. How many times can we say launch? Felt good to launch some new products.
The launch is coming. It's here.
Yeah, it's not coming. It's here, right?
It's here.
The launch is here. We launched some new men's products, some unisex products. We also, for the first time ever, for our lady listeners out there.
Wow. That
Bush
deserves.
burp.
That's how you cap the intro off.
That was for the lady listeners right there. That was it. That one came from deep. We finally have some specific merchandise just for the ladies. Oh, sorry, is the new shirt. You got to go check it out. Comes in a women's crop sweatshirt, but also just a normal women's tee. We got the lattes all day. Lattes all day.
Great, just classic design.
I could do lattes all day. With the mountains on there, we have the withdraw from the claw finally shirt. I've been wanting to do this since that video came out.
Yep.
And then just a classic You Betcha merch. Right? The finally we have something that says You Betcha
just
on it.
Just kind of like a branded shirt. It's not the YB, but it's You Betcha written out in script.
And just when you thought that we didn't do enough, there's also when in doubt,
Ope it out.
Try it again.
Boom.
Ready? When in doubt, ope it out. So we also have that shirt as well. So go check it all out. Oh, but just when you thought we didn't have enough, we also have crew necks. We also have hooded sweatshirts. So go check it all out on the website. I think you guys are going to love them.
www.oubetcha.com. That's O with 2 H's.
Yep. Go check it out. Order yourself something so we can keep Ryan busy.
Yes.
Speaking of busy, Ryan, our guys over at, we want you guys to keep our buddies over at U Motors, Motorsports and Marine, located in Fargo, North Dakota, and Pelican Lake, Minnesota, busy. They have all of the best brands: Honda, Yamaha, Can-Am, Sea-Doo, the Teak boats, Super boats, Supreme boats, all of the boats, and Avalon pontoons. It is the end of summer season, so you need to go get some boat or toy on sale. I'm sure they have great deals here at the end of the summer, but also hunting's here, so you're going to need some stuff for that, maybe a four-wheeler, a side-by-side, you name it. Go check them out at umotorsinc.com or on all their social medias, Facebook, Instagram at umotors. That's just with the letter U and then motors. If you mention this ad, you can get 20% off parts and accessories. Some exclusions may apply. Again, find them at umotorsinc.com. Ryan, we launched a new merch. Obviously, we have the withdraw from the claw shirt.
Yep.
Apparently, this news article it rubs me the wrong way because it just sounds like they aren't running their business very correctly. But apparently there's a shortage of White Claw in the United States now.
Did you see that coming?
Well, no, because I think...
How can you ever have a shortage of something that popular?
Right. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't like this is like they launched it this summer. I mean, it's been around for a while now.
Yeah.
So I can't believe that. which is great for all the Anheuser-Busch brands, especially the Natural Light Seltzer that they came out with.
Yep.
Because
Have you had a chance to try that?
I haven't actually.
So I had like the cherry or some red fruit flavor. It reminded me a lot of the cough syrup I got when I had my tonsils removed at age 12.
What did it have more flavor than like a White Claw?
It did. It
was a little more flavorful.
That was definitely apparent.
Yep.
But on top of that, it was. Now I've heard the other kinds are also really good.
Yeah.
So I could have just gotten, maybe the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah. So I think it leaves the door open a little bit to, the Anheuser-Busch bands sneaking their way in to withdraw from the claw. But I think it's going to be interesting to see if people keep drinking it now that it's not summer.
Miles, this whole bubbly type of like LaCroix and White Claw, I feel like all of these have become just like huge brands within the last year or two.
Yeah.
Where is this coming from?
Well, one, the younger generation is drinking beer at a very smaller rate than the other older generations.
Okay.
They're either switching to a seltzer, they are switching to hard liquor. Part of that I think is culture. Part of that is like it is perceived that beer is very unhealthy and these seltzers are more healthy, which is, we all know, very bananas.
Is it is it the alcohol content? Because seltzers are what, like 5%?
Yeah.
5%.
Which I think Busch Light's like 4.1 or something. Like,
yeah. So I get that.
Yeah, but that's not like enough.
Right.
I just think it's partly culture, partly, we'll see what happens here in the next decade of where the trends go.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because where can it go from here? But
it's also like one of those things that like it could just be a fad, and like beer just will always continually stay on top, and it's still like the number one thing, right? But it's just in the younger generation, they're just drinking less beer for whatever reason. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. What do you think is going to happen, Ryan?
I don't know. I've been trying to run scenarios through my head, but on top of like, you can only go so far, I feel like in the alcohol industry or should I say like the volume alcohol industry, you're not going to go out and drink a bottle of whiskey like you drink 15 beers.
Right.
So beer's being consumed in a lot more volume than liquor. So you look at beer and hard seltzer, I mean, what else is there? Like, you think like whiskey companies or like liquor companies will come out with like their own like pre-mixed infused something?
Yeah, you think that they would have done that by now.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't know enough about that to know or be able to talk about it. But I know that they've like experimented with it. I think the issue is when they do the mixer with the alcohol, like if it's actually like Coke and whiskey.
Yeah.
It goes bad after a while.
Okay.
So they're like, because I remember seeing before that they like were coming out with special cans and stuff that had, when you cracked it, it also cracked open a little like shot of whiskey that was underneath the top rim that then went into the, Coke or whatever.
So maybe that's what they could do.
Yeah, but they've already tried it, I think, and it just hasn't worked. I don't know.
To bring it mainstream that's the debate.
But luckily for us, we're drinking Busch Light. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it'll be around for a while.
What will, Busch Light? I sure hope so. I don't think the Nectar of the Gods is going anywhere.
No, I mean, we saw that in multiple different states this year. A lot of Busch Latte drinkers out there.
Busch Light is on the rise. It has been confirmed to me that it is on the rise, which is awesome.
Which is wild.
Yeah. I think that, stuff like the latte cans, the new hunting cans, if they come out with any other stunts in the future, I think it just helps keep people interested too.
Yep. So the hunting cans are out. I don't know if
let's talk about the hunting cans. I really like them actually.
It's different every year in a small way, correct?
Yeah. I know that for one, the hunting cans orange, it just seems like it's a brighter orange this year.
I was going to say that.
I don't know. The design just looks cool, but they also have the big buck hunter part of it where if you scan the code, you can play Big Buck Hunter on your phone. And
Interesting.
then you get entered in to win like a big buck hunter.
Yeah.
Like one you'd see at a bar.
What if we got one of those at the bunker?
That would be so cool. I got to maybe try and pull some strings, get one at the bunker.
Are you pretty good?
In reality, how good can you be at big buck hunter?
I mean, are
it's
you
a
going to
lot
go
of
like,
just patch,
right. Are you going to go,
patch.
will you go doeless? Will you go a full 5 rounds without shooting a doe?
I can. I don't play it enough to like really give you an answer, but I always seem to hit a doe.
Same. So if I go to a bar and there's big buck hunter, you better believe I'm playing.
Really?
But any other game, and I don't really know what unless you're going to Dave and Buster's or somewhere like that. I don't really know what other games would be in a bar. But
They have like Golden Tee.
Okay,
I would much rather play Big Buck Hunter than Golden Tee, but I don't necessarily usually play those games at bars because I'm usually like, I'm a social butterfly guy, so I'm usually talking to people.
Yep.
But I would choose Big Buck Hunter over like Golden Tee for sure.
See, I'm kind of like an active guy at the bar. I like to kind of be bouncing around.
Yeah, you're
and
a fitness guy. You love moving.
CrossFit guy. Yeah.
You're a big CrossFit guy. You love PRs and we're not wearing your shirt at the gym.
Yeah.
So, how many bars actually have a big buck hunter?
I would say like 1 in 5.
I would agree. It also depends on what part of the country you're in, all that kind of stuff. But I know they usually have stuff like that at like a Buffalo Wild Wings. Usually has Golden Tee and Big Buck Hunter.
But see, if I'm at B-dubs, I'm not going to play buck hunter. It's this weird transition from like small town
like
bar
when
to,
we were like in middle school and our parents would take us to B-dubs, we'd go play those games.
Yep.
But if you're at like a small town bar and you see that game,
you're then the little kid.
Well, one,
at
that's a very nice small town bar.
Yeah.
That they have big buck hunter, but yeah.
Now, will you dive much into like pull tabs or anything like that?
If you catch me on the right day, I'll definitely be doing some pull tabs.
You'll definitely throw a 20 in with a group.
Yeah, I usually don't go solo. I usually will do it with a group, so you're right on that.
Yep.
Pull tabs are just whatever about
It's the
pull
cardboard
tabs.
crack, man.
Yeah. Is that what you call it?
The cardboard crack.
The cardboard crack. I like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't do that a ton. For me, okay, here's what I want to know. My brother, this summer, we've been playing some darts at the local bar.
Okay.
When we go to the bar. And weirdly, all of a sudden, he's really good at darts. He doesn't own a dartboard. It's not like he is in a dart league or anything like that.
Yeah.
What do you think is the deal with that? How do people get good at darts if they're not in a? Because I also feel like there's like everyone knows that one person that's just good at all of those games: ping pong, pool, darts, all that stuff. Like,
I think it's the type of sport. It's kind of like I want to look
like
at
hand-eye.
I want to look at it a little bit like golf. Like every year, I feel like something gets a little bit better, but you might only be golfing once a week, once every 2 weeks. So I feel like once you get your reps in, then you're kind of just locked in at this certain level.
Yeah.
So then you're just going to be like, you went from just like a shitty dart player to just like
a pretty good one.
He's a decent dart player.
Yeah, and I'm really bad,
locked.
so like, it makes me look better too, I suppose.
But he's never going to be like a great dart player because he doesn't put the time in.
Also, I feel like dads are way better at it than everyone else. Like my dad is good at all those like weird games. Is because they grew up in a time without cell phones. So if you're at the bar, like you have to do stuff to keep your mind busy.
Probably.
Because like now, we can like text our friends and Snapchat and Instagram and do stories and send snaps and all that stuff. Where back in the day, our parents, when they went to the bar, they just had to look at each other and play games.
Which one thing that I really like about small town bars is you never have service inside. Mm-hmm. There's not.
And that's why you always end up playing Big Buck Hunter or pool or something.
Right.
Yeah, you are right.
But a lot of the times you're like, if you're at a small town bar, you're probably with someone you know, or you know someone from that town that you're whatever. So to get kind of mingling around like that group of people and, you know, maybe put a connection together like, oh yeah, you know, I know this guy and you know him too. So that's what I like about small town bars is it kind of brings that out in people.
Do you ever think when a small town bar has like a solo, like it's a live music, but it's just like one guy with a guitar?
Yep.
Do you ever think that like there's a lot of those people that probably could make it as like a huge star, but they just don't even know how to get the right connections or make that happen?
Yep.
So I was at a small town bar this weekend, and there was a live guy who was like, he was very good. Like, not like to the where he was like completely bringing the house down, but he just kind of had a sound that like sounds like he would be good in recording studio and be able to like do that, but also be good live. And like, he just was very good.
Yeah.
What's the difference between a guy like Luke Holmes who goes from playing bars from that guy? Is it only that Luke Holmes went to the right bars in the bigger cities, tried to make connections, put videos out on social media, all that stuff? Or is it like he just got really lucky with the right person seeing it at the right time?
Yeah, I think you just said both of them right there. Luck, like singers, songwriters, artists, they always catch that break. You know, the big ones always catch that break, and they take that luck. So I think that's part of it. Another part is I feel like some of these people are content with where they're at. They work a day job. This is like, it's kind of a dream they've always had, but they only live it on the weekends.
Right. Cause like,
but a lot of them also aren't taking advantage of social media.
Yeah. Or they just don't know how.
Exactly.
I think it'd actually be really fun when this machine that we're building, Ryan, gets big enough to do like a small town bar idol. So basically you submit your local person. We have a contest, and it's not like basically it's for the folk that are playing in small town bars that are really good, that just don't know how to make it happen or don't know who to talk to. Like, wouldn't that be really cool if we were able to like someone who was really talented that just played at their local bars because they grew up in this small rural area and they weren't able to go to the bigger cities to try and get noticed, all that stuff. If they were able to submit something to our page and win something, and they get noticed then by different people to get picked up by recording artists and all that, I think that would be really cool.
Dude, that's like one of the best ideas I've ever heard.
Not to brag.
No, that's so awesome.
Because part of what this page is one, putting the Midwest on the map in terms of like showing that we are actually one, smart people.
Right.
Two, that the people on the coast and other parts of the country, they're no better than us. And three, it's like that we do have talented, funny people, that we do have talented, like that we like, even though we go a little slower with things, even though we take our time, even though there's a lot more space between you and I.
Yep.
Like we're just as talented, we're just as funny, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's what this page is about.
Yep.
So how cool would that be to be able to like take that guy that I saw this weekend, have him record a few things on his phone, submit it, and end up getting entered into a contest, and basically taking the talent that's in the Midwest and showcasing it to the world, I think would be
and then
very, very cool.
Putting the final touch on it by like you essentially introducing this person to sing a song,
like a label or whatever. Yeah.
Well, no, we're recording a video. You introduce this person on the video and say, "Hey, this is the idol of the month. He's going to play a quick song for you."
Content would be like where the Midwest would vote.
Right. Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, like literally like American Idol, but for the Midwest. And like, I know that that's been done before on smaller scales with different idols and whatnot. Like, that's not a new idea, but taking those people and really trying to focus on people who play at small town bars would be really cool.
That's awesome.
I think we all personally know someone who is a very good artist. They just maybe need to polish it up a little bit, spend a little more time working on it, or just get noticed by the right people.
Right.
'Cause I know a few that come to my mind.
Think about
Now, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of crappy bands and singers and whatever that do end up playing at these small town bars, but there's some gems out there.
like our buddy Sean from Wisconsin Dells.
Yeah, he was very good. He was one of the ones that came to mind that would be prime for that because he's very talented. He's got a very polished feel, but he needs his break.
Yep.
So I think that'd be fun, and literally we're just workshopping ideas here on the podcast, Ryan. But if you think that'd be a cool idea, if you guys know people that youth comes to your mind, definitely throw in the comments. Let us know. We're gonna take our first break, and we're gonna keep plugging along. And I gotta grab another beer, I think. So. Oh my God, that's cold.
Wow.
Yeah, I couldn't get the click going on this one. For whatever reason,
It's weird.
lately, you hear that.
Yeah, that's the can tab.
The can tab makes a little popping noise sometimes when I open it. So I don't know what's going on with that, but it's kind of cool. Otherwise, Ryan, we've talked in this podcast that the fall is here. Summer's officially over. What other than, because for me, fall means like football and hunting, and that's literally it.
And leaves and rain.
You're a big leaves
That's very
and rain
majestic.
guy.
Very majestic.
Like for me, it's literally like football and hunting.
Sure.
And that's it. What about you? Is where I was at. What I was trying to ask you, Ryan.
So when I think our house gets decorated, like very season.
That's how you know you're married and I am not. By the way,
Yes.
flash the ring, Ryan. You didn't have it last week. There it is. Wow.
Got in trouble, threw it on.
Oh my God, it's blinding. It's so shiny.
It's tungsten, so it'll actually never scratch. And it's kind of heavy. Feel how heavy it is.
Will I disappear if I put it on? Oh my God.
I think the ring will disappear in your
it's very
finger.
smooth on the inside.
Yeah,
I don't even
that's
want
what she said.
I don't even want to. That's what she said. I don't even want to try it because one, it won't come off.
Yeah.
Two, then I think that's like bad luck. I don't know.
Yeah, it means you're next.
Yeah.
So Miles,
Ryan, what you said? Leaves, rain, and
I was piggybacking off of you, but yes. So I feel like fall hit us so hard.
Am I missing something though, other than football and hunting in the fall?
I see a lot of just like pumpkins and corn stalks, and
But
like
I mean,
I'm
of
starting to see
stuff
that.
that you actually think about every day. All I think about is
That's stuff I
football.
see every day.
I know, but you personally, Ryan.
Leaves and rain.
All right. Fall for me is football and hunting, and Ryan is
'Cause you took the two
leaves
best
and
ones.
rain. You can agree with me. You don't.
100% agree with you.
But is there anything else?
I don't think so. Besides leaves and rain.
Well, let's talk about leaves and rain then, Ryan. It was raining in our area today. It was nice.
There's leaves on my driveway.
What was nice about it raining all day? Today's a Monday. What's so nice about it raining all day is I hit it real hard this weekend.
You did.
Boozing it up.
Yep.
Nothing's better than like a Monday where it's just like rainy, a little cozy. You work.
That's some self-employed perks right there. You could work straight in your bed and have Netflix on in the background. Designing shirts.
No, yeah. I did it from the couch today.
Oh, that's the best,
I
man.
did it from the couch. I worked for like 7 hours straight on t-shirt designs. So.
Which is respectable.
But it was like the perfect day to spend 7 hours working on that because it was raining out.
Right. Like if that was me, I couldn't go out and like rip a plant out of the landscape and plant a new one. That's where I'm at in life right now.
What are you talking about?
So that would have been, if I was in your shoes working on the couch, that'd be perfect. You have an apartment or a townhome, whatever.
Yeah.
So you don't have to do yard work or anything like that.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
a rainy day is perfect because there's nothing to do outside.
Yes.
But for me, there's things to do outside. that I can't do when it's raining. So it's even better because then I would get to sit at home.
Oh, it's a double better for you then.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay. Dial-up connection over here.
You're good.
Now leaves. I have noticed that the trees have started to get frosted tips, is what I call it.
Okay.
Where the tops of the trees start to turn colors. Do you have anything else to add? Because it's one of your favorite things of fall, you said. That's all you think about, actually.
Yeah, we're not quite at the stage where everything's going to start falling off.
But it's frosted tips.
So I would say the early half of fall is football and hunting.
Okay.
The latter half would be rain and leaves.
Well, I would say that rain. Okay, I can't believe that we're diving into this, but this is what we're diving into today. Football throughout the whole fall.
Yeah. And winter.
Hunting for me is in the second half of fall.
Okay.
November, it's heavy for me.
Sure.
Leaves in the middle of fall.
Okay.
Rain in the first half of fall. And snow in the last quarter of fall.
Got it.
Did I do that right?
Fourth quarter. Yep.
There we go. And that's fall broken down. We should put that on a shirt.
What, out of the 4 seasons, where would you rank fall?
God, it's really tough not to put
That is a
fall
tough
number
one.
1.
Because there's summer.
When I was younger, summer was the best because of school purposes.
Mm-hmm.
I love doing lake activities. As I'm getting older, body's breaking down a little bit. Not as active.
Yep.
Summer's is lost some luster on there. Would you agree with me on that or not?
I would.
When you're young and then you go into college and even just right out of college, summer is the best.
Absolutely.
But now I've taken the turn past 25 years old. I'm headed towards 30. And summer just doesn't have the same sparkly, polished look anymore.
Yep. Because when you're a young kid, on a Tuesday, you can look forward to going to sleep over at your buddy's house, or like, going to sleep over at a friend's house is equivalent to like us going out.
School, yeah.
So you can look forward to something on a Tuesday that you're doing Wednesday. But like for us adults, working adults, we have to wait. We have one day of the week to look forward to, kind of like that next sleepover, or that next time to hang out with the friends.
Right? It's just like, it's a free for all.
That's why it was the best though, because you were always looking forward to something.
Right now, this is not what I would have said 2 years ago. Right now it goes fall number 1. I love it.
Yep.
I love this.
You love it.
Summer number 2. Oh God, it's tough because I don't really like spring. Push burp.
I would say spring is my third.
I like spring for like 1 week when it starts to warm up, and then I'm like, okay, I need summer now.
Man. So I'm torn, but you're torn between 3 and 4. I'm torn between 1 and 2. Because man, right now is so awesome. There's no snow on the ground.
Yeah.
Football is week 1 is done. Week 2 is,
which we'll get to later.
Yep. Week 2 is like right on our heels. God, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
But summer is.
I think I got to go spring over winter. Winter gets so long, and it's like, yeah. So fall 1, summer 2, spring 3, winter 4. We talk about the weather and the seasons a lot, Ryan.
Yeah. Well, like I was telling you, we did a bit a couple months ago about random conversations that you can always lead into how the weather is.
Yeah, the great segues.
Yeah. Great segues. Yep.
Now, fall, okay. Do you think that the pumpkin spice phase for not weed, unless you drink pumpkin spice stuff,
No.
I don't.
No.
If I had one a fall, I'd be like, oh, it tasted pretty good, whatever. I'm done with it. There's some people that die by it, right? And it became popular last year. The last couple of years, it's like, pumpkin spice everything. Ha, 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 ha. Do you think that phase is over? Because I think that everyone's kind of moved on from like the pumpkin spice jokes. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like now it's like just become part of what we do. And, you know, Starbucks is going to release a pumpkin spice latte, but like brands aren't going to like make jokes that they have a pumpkin spice McChicken or like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Or like something like that where like, obviously that's not a real thing. It's a joke. I feel like we moved past that and we're on to the next thing.
So the pumpkin spice latte is always built up to October 31st, in which November 1st, it transitions into like the peppermint mocha, let's say.
Yep. Yeah.
Maybe it extends a little bit longer, but Halloween is usually like the build up. So over the last couple of years, I haven't paid attention enough, but when's that day that like, I feel like it's the day that Starbucks releases the pumpkin spice latte that all the jokes, all the memes, all of the
Start happening.
That's when that starts
Like
happening.
have it cocked and loaded.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So that day, from my knowledge, hasn't came yet because I feel like you always see that one or two floating memes out there about pumpkin spice latte.
They definitely have released it.
Well, they have.
Yeah.
Well, then I feel like it should have been way.
I feel like it keeps getting earlier and earlier every year. So
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like
I think we've
Black
moved
Friday
past
shopping.
it as a society.
Yeah.
I think it's now just become a part of people's fall routine, and we've moved on to the next thing. What that next thing is, I'm not quite sure yet, but it'll find its way out.
So I consider Thanksgiving to still be in fall,
I would too.
even if there is snow on the ground.
I would say winter doesn't happen until mid-December.
Sure. So, what's your thoughts on Black Friday shopping?
I've never done it.
I've done it one time, and I
Never
think
done
it was
it.
15 years ago.
But that's because we leave early. We wake up the same time as all of the Black Friday shoppers, but instead of going to the store, we'd go to South Dakota to pheasant hunt.
Gotcha.
So the day after Thanksgiving, me and my family and uncles and cousins, we pile in a couple trucks and go hunting.
That's the best time to go pheasant hunting too.
Yeah.
Late when there's snow on the ground, the birds are holding tight. Man, that's awesome.
Everyone has that Friday off,
Yep.
so it works out every single year. It's a great thing.
Miles is going to be gone after Thanksgiving. I'll put that on the calendar. All right.
Well, okay, I'm gone for one day. You're going to be probably gone for like 3 weeks because you need about 2 to 3 weeks to just think about how your wedding went.
Mental self-care.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm sure you'll take a couple 2 to 3 weeks of mental self-care, Ryan.
Yeah,
And
especially at that point.
I'll have to pause my whole business. We won't be able to do any shirt or merch launch because you just need a breather this fall of all the stuff that went on. So
Yeah, I still have a huge hangover.
football's back. That's kind of
It's
what
back, baby.
we talked about before, and that's what the Busch Light Bowl is all about. The NFL is back. Week 1 is in the books, and all the NFC North teams have now played week 1. And so I think we should talk about that, don't you think?
Yeah, week one is always so hyped because you got your fantasy team. You're calling your buddies saying, "Hey, you want to trade this guy for this
You
guy?"
want to see if who was either just a 1-year fluke or if they're ready to play again, type of thing.
Yep.
So first segment we talked about a little bit of White Claw, a little bit of what was the second part we talked about?
Fall.
Well, in the first segment,
Well, we really got off onto a tangent.
yeah, it was a
in
lot
the
of
first
different
segment
stuff. Then we started talking about fall,
about rain and leaves.
all things under the category of fall. And I think we'll finish the podcast today talking a little bit of NFL Week 1. But first we're going to take a break and really dive into Week 1. All right, Ryan, Week 1, NFC North is what we're going to talk about here. Just a little rundown for the listeners that don't know. It was Bears-Packers kicked off the NFL season, and that game was kind of a crapshoot.
Blah.
It was very defensive, very just kind of sloppy, not great. The Vikings played the Falcons, which is funny because I said the Falcons were one of my least favorite teams to watch. They came through and showed that by only scoring
10 points.
Well, they scored 12 points, I think.
Yeah.
But really, they didn't score when it mattered. They only had like 3 points until the very end.
Some garbage time.
Yeah.
Yep.
That. And then the Lions ended up tying the Cardinals, which is another team that I said I hated to watch. But Kyler Murray, the rookie quarterback for the Cardinals, really gave everyone mixed signals. Were you able to watch any of that game?
I watched a little bit of it.
Kyler Murray was atrocious for like the first 2.5 quarters.
Really?
And then started picking up some momentum. And then towards the end of the game, he looked like he was an NFL quarterback by the end.
Week one jitters.
Yeah, it wasn't
for
pretty.
A rookie.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty. I actually think it was more the Lions gave them the tie than anything. There was a play where they were clearly going to get a first down to basically end the game, but their coach called a timeout right before, even though like they were clearly going to get the first of this whole thing. So that kind of sucks for the Lions, but essentially after that, they kind of just, I think that they more gave it to them than the Cardinals earned it. The Vikings game, which you're a big Vikings guy, Ryan.
Skull Vikes, baby.
I want you to talk me through the game.
The game, honestly, I thought it'd be a lot different. But when I started to kind of listen to pregame and get refreshed from last couple of years, Xavier Rhodes has shut Julio Jones down in the last now 4 games.
Side note, did you hear that he now wants to be called Xavier and not Xavier?
Really?
He told the media that they need to start pronouncing his name Xavier.
Xavier Rhodes.
Yeah. So
also known as Rhodes closed.
Yeah. Side note.
So when you can take such an offensive threat out of the game in Julio Jones and Matt Ryan, he's still I feel like he's still one of the top quarterbacks in the league. But
he might have just had a bad week.
Exactly.
But they suck to watch.
It was bad. And granted, the Vikings defense is very polished.
Yes.
With Mike Zimmer at the helm, but they're not. It's Matt Ryan. The Vikings defense is not that good to shut Matt Ryan down that much.
Yeah. I don't know what happened. I think that the Falcons will still be good by the end of the year. I think that no one should panic after week 1, but it is one of those things where you're like, wow, I just thought that they were going to do better. Vikings look good. I thought that Kirk Cousins was still nothing special.
He's not a killer.
No, he just is kind of methodical and boring. Thought the running backs for the Vikings look good.
Yep.
What's really funny is my boy. So I'm big on Case Keenum.
Sure.
He came out slinging.
Yeah, he did.
Week 1. So I still think that the Vikings messed up by letting go of Case Keenum. And okay, if they were able to pick up someone better than Kirk Cousins, I would have been fine with them giving up Case Keenum. But I don't think it was a trade up or a move up to get Kirk Cousins. I actually thought it was a little bit of a move down.
Sure.
Because Case Keenum has that it factor. Yes, he will make some mistakes, but he's also going to make a lot more plays than Kirk Cousins is going to make. Does that make sense? Like, so Kirk Cousins' spectrum is like right here, right? Like not very much, but he's always in the middle.
Yep.
Case Keenum can be wider, and sometimes he's way to one side and good. Sometimes he's way to the other side bad. But I also think that Kirk Cousins does not have that it factor to win a game in very high pressure situations.
So why do you think Kirk Cousins has been the more recognized quarterback over like the last 2 or 3 years?
I think it's just that he's very consistent. Case Keenum is viewed as a gunslinger, I would say.
Sure.
And gunslingers, unless you're Brett Favre and make it a long time in the NFL, gunslingers take a lot longer, I think, to gain recognition.
Okay.
Now you look at a guy like Patrick Mahomes. He's a gunslinger and he's polished. He's like the whole spectrum, right? Like he's just, well, he's actually probably more Yeah, he's just not as much on the bad side, right? He's a gunslinger, but he's also just very consistently good. Mm-hmm. So I think that that's probably one of the reasons why. I also think he needs the right chemistry with his players and receivers, which I think he had with the Vikings. So I think that was like a double whammy. Like, he clearly like had some mojo at US Bank Stadium.
Electric
factory he was. Yes. And then if we go back to the Packers Bears, I think that the Bears offense just showed that they're not very good. The Packers defense literally said, we're going to just make Mitchell Trubisky beat us, and he just couldn't.
Yeah, I didn't know what to think about that game. I was pretty in and out of it, but it's a tough game to watch, man.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, I think, will be fine. I think their defense is definitely better than they have been.
Yep.
So I actually would be interested to see where the Bears turn out, because their Bears defense is very good. Their offense is not very good.
Not good. Who was your week one dark horse, Miles? Out of all the teams in the NFL, who really impressed you the most?
Out of all of the teams in the NFL, that's a good question, Ryan. Did you find anyone?
The Ravens.
Yeah, they also played the worst team in the league.
But they stomped them.
Yeah, but they played the worst team in the league, so I'm not committing to that yet.
Okay. I'm going to commit to it for week one. I think Lamar Jackson throws 5 touchdowns, runs for however many yards
against the worst team in the league.
Right, but in the I get it as the NFL. I get it as week one, but in the NFL, any team can beat any team.
Correct. But there are sometimes a season, there's one team that's significantly worse than the rest. The Browns were that one year, a couple of years. Might be the Dolphins this year. Yeah, I'm just trying to mull over all the games in my head. Nothing jumps out at me right away. I think that the Vikes will be good this year. They're just going to have to show that they can win when it's a tight game at the end, they'll probably have to rely on their quarterback, which I'm very interested to see how that goes.
Yep.
Sucky to see Nick Foles go down.
Week one.
I think he was going to maybe do something, but yeah.
Thought to bring Blake Bortles back.
Yeah, the boat. Yeah, so that's kind of all I have for week one talk. Basically how I feel. Is there anything you think I was missing?
No, I think the Vikes are going to go 10-6. 10-6 or 11-5.
Really?
Yep. That's my honest prediction.
So that's your prediction.
I'll say 11-5.
I was gonna say more 11-5 than 10-6. I haven't seen their schedule or anything like that.
It's a tough schedule.
Yeah.
We play the Pack in Lambeau this in 4 days.
We play the Pack.
Yep, Skull Nation.
Oh my God. All right. Well, you heard it here. Ryan thinks they're gonna be 11-5. I'm not quite sure yet, but yeah, I think that. I'm just happy that football season's here. The NFL's kicked off. Fantasy football's kicked off. College football's in full swing. Fall is here. Leaves are here.
Rain is
here.
Yep.
Cooler weather is here. I'm feeling good. And you know what I do when I'm feeling good, Ryan?
You drink Busch Light.
I drink Busch Light and...
You watch football.
And I head to... our website to check out Gina's Designs of the Heartland signs. Yes, they are handcrafted wooden signs from right here in the Heartland. They say Nectar of the Gods on it with the mountains that you see on a Busch Light can. The Nectar of the Gods truly is Busch Light. They are handcrafted out of pine. They look great in any decor. Especially during football season. Goes in great in a man cave, a garage, bathroom, kitchen, bedroom, you name it. These signs look great, and you can check them out on our website at oubetcha.com. and purchase yourself a sign there. Or you can head to Gina's Designs of the Heartland's Etsy page, because that's what crafty people sell stuff on, is Etsy, Ryan.
Etsy.
You go to etsy.com, etsy.com/shop/GDOT Heartland. And that's it. You go there, you check out all the other signs that they have, not just the Nectar of the God signs. Possibly even hook yourself up with a custom sign through them. Go check them out at etsy.com/shop/GDOT Heartland. Take us home, Ryan.
Guys, thanks again for listening into episode 34, the Fall Podcast, here on You Betcha Radio. Make sure you go check out the brand new merch, all the new designs and new colors, the hoodies. Go check it all out at www.oubetcha.com. Week 2 is almost here, Miles. Week 1's in the dust. I'm excited to see what the future has in store for the Vikings, for the NFL in general. It's going to be a good fall full of rain and leaves. I am Ryan, the t-shirt guy.
And you are a dummy. And I'm Miles, You Betcha guy. May your ranch always be runny. Your bush lattes forever be cold. Cheers, Ryan. Oh my God, that's cold.
Wow.
Oh, you betcha, yeah.
Yeah.